Yeah, I thought I'd do a quick video to show you how to set the modulation properly on a radio. Now, this one's a PC68 that I'm going to be showing it on, but it's the same for Cobra 29 or really any other radio that has an adjustment in it for the modulation. So right now I have this connected to my dummy load up here, antenna tuner with a dummy load in it, and then I have a attenuator that I built into that, that's where the communication analyzer gets its sample from. And then I also have my oscilloscope hooked up to it, and what I did for that is I have just the cable running from that down to my cable that connects to the radio, and I put just a few winds of a wire around that and hook the wires up to that. That's just so that the oscilloscope pulls a sample off of it. And then I set this to the 500 microseconds time scale, 500 microseconds per division. That puts us where we're going to be seeing the audio range on there. And in my case, my communication analyzer has an audio output, and I run that into this harness, test harness here I made, so I can connect this up, and that injects the audio tone, which is 1 kilohertz, and then this is just so I can make the radio transmit. If you don't, a lot of people obviously aren't going to have this equipment, so what you can use is probably just find like an audio generator app on your cell phone and set it for a 1 kilohertz tone, crank the volume up, and hold it up to your microphone. Probably be good enough to get you by anyways. But so what you do, get the radio transmitting. This is what it should look like on the scope. You'll see this is what the RF looks like when you're on an audio scale. If I zoomed in on it here, then you would actually see the 27 megahertz right there. So I'm going to zoom back out to my 500 microseconds division, and then we'll connect the audio signal. Alright, and here's what it should look like on there. Now this is at 100% modulation, and I'll show you on here also. So they were just a hair past 100. Let me actually, I'll adjust it so it's right at 100 once. That's pretty much right at 100. And that's what it should look like. You see a nice symmetrical waveform. If you go above 100, I'll turn it up here. You can see how you get this gap in here. That's when you have negative clipping, and you don't want that. So I'll show you on here. So now we're at 109%, and we'll go to the scope function on here, and you can see the same thing represented on here. You see the clipping on the bottom. So that clipping is distortion. You want to stay away from that. So same thing. We'll adjust it just looking at this scope once, and we'll back off the pot until that wave looks symmetrical. And then we'll go back to looking at here, and you can see we're pretty close, 102%. So that's just eyeballing it, looking at the waveform on an oscilloscope. That's how you set it.